Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're good. Once again, you are looking good, you are looking beautiful, you are looking amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed today's project. Today we are basically just going to do a wrap dress. Try to keep it simple, easy for you guys to just have fun, you know, beginner friendly, and I hope you enjoy it. I am using satin and this emerald green. I don't think you guys can see my eyeshadow, but I try to match it to this emerald green, and we are basically going to kill it. I hope you enjoy the video, and I shall see you guys at the end when we play and dress up. Bye. Okay guys, so this is basically what you're going to need. Some really sharp scissors. You're going to need a grid ruler for your patterns. Don't forget some pins. Please make sure they're not blunt. Measuring tape with your measurements. A fabric marker as well as your fabric. I did include elastic, put elastic. Okay guys, so you're going to flip your dress block and then you're going to add the curve that you want as well as the centimeters off your belt. Don't forget the flare off your skirt, and then you're going to cut this ×2 on opposite sides. For my back, I used a dress block as well and also added a facing and the flare that I needed. For my sleeve, I added flare, and then you guys can decide on the length that you want. I had 2 straps, which is going to be the ones we're going to wrap around, and then for our flare, you can either do gathers, so make it twice the length that you want, or you can do flare by chopping it up and then curving it and then cutting your fabric that way. Okay, so these are my pieces: my back, my front, my facing for my front, my back facing, and then also the flare at the bottom of the skirt. Don't forget your sleeves and your straps. So we're going to begin by basically sewing the side seams as well as the shoulders, and we're going to do the same for our facing by sewing the shoulder part so we can add them together. This is me basically sewing them together by using a 2.5 length stitch and just going at the edge of my seam allowance, which is 1.5. If you guys only use 1 centimeter, just follow the seam allowance that you actually placed. I overlocked all of my edges and made sure everything is neat. If you guys can't overlock, you can do a zigzag stitch. I basically had to do the straps before we can attach the facing to our actual dress. So me putting the straps, I kind of just followed 1.5 as well, and then did 1 square stitch at the end so we can turn it over by using a loop turner and then having our belt inside out and ironing it down flat. Don't forget to pierce your corners out. So this is basically how the facing will lay on our actual dress, right side to right side, but we have to add our belt and we have to add our flare within this. So my flare doesn't need any gathers, but if you had to gather it first and then actually put in the facing, the flare, and the belt. So this is me pinning. I first did right side to right side for the facing, and then just placed right side down for my flare, and then followed my flare throughout my hem and the design that I actually wanted. Make sure everything is in place because you do have about 3 layers, which is the belt, the flare, and your facing. Make sure everything is in place and there aren't any bubbles. If you need to put a lot of pins, put a lot of pins, and then stitch it down on your seam allowance, still a 2.5 length stitch. If you need to braid by your neck, braid. That's just cutting a little slits to make sure that everything curves and falls into place without creating any pleats or bubbles. So you should have all 3 layers attached like this. Make sure you iron down, and also if anything is bulky, you can cut the seams and braid. So for your sleeve, you want to fold and stitch. I am going to make mine even bigger, but I'm showing you guys if you just want to fold and stitch and then do a top stitch on top of that, you can, but I'm going to put a elastic, so I'm going to fold and stitch about 4 centimeters and then put my elastic. You also just want to close your seam up so you can attach it to your dress. So after you just attach it to your dress, you have your elastic. Use a safety pin, put the elastic through, and then do a zigzag stitch on the elastic so it holds well and doesn't fall out. The gap that you made to put the elastic through, close it with a hand stitch and you are good to go. Now this is me just testing out a buttonhole, so we have a hole to put through our strap when we are wrapping the dress around us. Practice on fabric and also get yourself a buttonhole foot. Different machines work completely different with buttonholes, but if you don't have a buttonhole foot, you can use a zigzag stitch. Don't leave space between, and then just zigzag stitch a rectangle. Iron everything down, make sure all your seams are pressed if you haven't already, and then you should be good to go. You guys can stitch your facing down by the shoulders if it's shifting, but if you didn't put a facing, you can just fold and stitch. Okay guys, so this is basically the finished dress. Very simple, beginner easy. I hope you guys enjoy it. You can make it in so many different types of fabric. This is the only fabric I had, which is a bit formal, but if you guys want prints that could be fun, you can try different types of sleeves and different types of lengths. You can even put a little cuff. You can put even more gathers at the bottom or more flare, or make your belt thicker or thinner or longer. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!